Welcome to the Mama's Boys podcast. I'm your host, Omar Yusuf. My fellow host is Silent Mike, also known as Mike Farr. We have merchandise available for Mama's Boys podcast at mamasboyspodcast.com, as well as you can sign up for our Patreon, where we give exclusive bonus episodes and other content on there. You can find that as well on mamasboyspodcast.com. What's cracking, guys? We are here with none other than Bryce Krawczyk of Calgary Barbell. It's myself, Omar Yusuf, and my luxurious, beautiful co-host. We say co-host, but like we're both hosts.
I know, but I don't know if there's another word.
You guys could both be co-hosts.
Yeah, I think that's
right?
what it is.
And then you're on the level.
No, we're both hosts. It's like
that.
When they say co-captains, like no, we're both captains.
Yeah, this is bi-curious podcast.
Yeah, Silencio Michael, the main man himself, the best-looking Argentinian gentleman I know.
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of good-looking folks
I
down
only
there.
know you.
There's
but
a lot of
I
good-looking
still,
folks.
I still feel you can.
Lionel Messi?
Oh, Bryce Krawczyk is in the house. Calgary Barbell, an insanely strong IPF tested and approved lifter. I heard they know your whereabouts at all times.
At all times. Yeah, they know where I sleep every night right now. They got an hour a day where they can show up and test me out of nowhere.
How come I don't know?
It's real.
Time? Like, why aren't we there yet?
I don't know, man. We just we got to take things slow, I think.
Well, I'm not that type. I'm hard and fast and then forget about it. So we have Bryce in the house.
Maybe I'm just trying to protect myself then.
From emotional damage.
Or physical.
Well, speaking of protecting themselves, we have the person that's going to be slinging the most amount of dirt on this episode. We actually have the videographer for Calgary Barbell's channel, Bryce Krawczyk's channel, Dylan. Dylan, How do we say your last name, buddy?
It's Yakovets.
Ooh, hey.
Just a bunch of fucking foreigners.
So, we got Bryce Krawczyk, the
crab shark.
Ukrainian, Bryce Crawfish, and then we have Dylan here. Dylan, you are a videographer that has Mike, you've seen the videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan, I'm here today tell you.
Don't call me out.
When you put that thing in your hands, you make it work.
It's like your wand, Harry. It's magic.
Yeah, your wand's magical.
I think he mutters spells to it sometimes as well.
That's a secret.
Now, Dylan, let's just get straight into it because we're not here for pleasantries. What's the most annoying thing about Bryce?
Lay it out there, man.
Bryce just looking at him like, do you really want to fuck up?
No, we're in the kind of relationship. There's no punches held.
Yeah.
No punches held.
I don't know. Like the most annoying thing lately. Well,
let me start the list. Let me open this up.
Number 35 is probably
maybe just the length of his workouts. So lately he's actually been good, but for a while it's been like 4 hours.
Okay.
So
you're strong. That takes time.
Strong.
It takes time to warm up to 600-700 pounds.
Can he help it that he's so strong?
Yeah, man.
Or is he dicking around?
Maybe.
Sometimes dicking around. A lot of time on my phone between sets.
Your last workout, you finished your whole workout, and Omar did how many sets?
7 beautiful sets. I did assume this. Mike knows we train at the same pace.
Yeah.
They were there for like an hour and a half. I'm like, I did my 5 main sets of squats. And then I did 3 sets of deficit deadlift. So that's 8 sets in total. I'm like, that's about an hour and a half. And then a workout's normally 2 hours and change. Bryce is done.
Yeah.
Like Bryce.
That's pretty good.
The world-class lifter is done. I'm like, what? Because he said, don't worry, buddy. I take a while. So I thought, okay, he's going to take a while. I'll take a while.
I guess it depends on the workout.
I really had to start like monitoring how long I was resting between sets because for a while there I was doing like 5 exercises a day, all up to like heavy single weight. So it was a lot of warming up and a lot of loading the bar and a lot of stuff. So there's really no time to kind of dick around with it. So I guess I got into the habit of being very fast paced, and now I'm doing like 3 exercises a day in training. So it flies by. It's nice.
5 sets of 10, bro.
5 sets of 10.
5 sets of 10.
Get a pump and leave.
You know what that means? 5 sets of 10 is 2 sets better than 3 sets of 10. That's why your coach is
above average.
That's what your coach is making you do.
More jack.
He probably heard of Mark Rippertone, got it wrong. He heard sets of 5. He heard and said, do 5 sets. You see?
Right.
It.
No.
It's kind of like a meta way of doing your 5s.
Yeah. It's next level.
I do 10 sets of 5.
There you go.
Yeah, it's Rippertone squared.
That's like a Russian squared.
So, Dylan, you're just perturbed by the fact that Bryce loves to train?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because, I mean, when I've heard you guys talk, and I should say, full disclosure, we all know this. I see the rapport between Mike and his videographer, Connor. Same idea with myself and Els. You got there's something about working together, and I would say I've had different businesses. I've had employees. I've had partners in other businesses, and even like Mike and myself, we run some businesses together. we don't have the same dynamic that a creative individual, so let's say the person in front of the camera, so you, Bryce, or you, Mike, and then the videographer, the person filming.
The get shit done guy.
Yeah, and it's always like there's just a little bit, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sexual tension. Like
It could be.
I don't know what, but there's always just that little bit, like, they'll say, like, did you get the shot? He's like, yeah, I got the shot. You know, there's just that little, what is that?
I don't know. Like with Bryce, I've honestly been really fortunate. He really doesn't care. He just lets me do my thing, and just kind of lives with it.
What's the background? Self-taught, went to school, worked on other projects. What's the filmography, editing?
Yeah, definitely self-taught. I went to school for kinesiology. I wanted to be a physio, and that just kind of completely changed when I met Bryce.
You saw his body and said, "I don't want to work with bodies no more."
Let me film you.
Hey, man, you're a muscle-bound hunk. You mind if I just film your work? I mean, you're a powerlifter. You mind if I just film your workouts?
Yeah.
A little known fact, actually, Mike, and we could riff on this. We won't go too hard. But Dylan actually, and I don't know if Connor's the same way, but I'm saying with my guy, Aus, sometimes when you train with someone, Aus, when he films me, you would think, okay, so let's say I'm a guitarist. You have a guitar tech, right? So you play a lot of guitar. The guitar tech's like, hey, man, I want to start playing guitar because, like, shit, I see you play guitar all the time. I find with videographers, it's the opposite. So Else will see me, like, do strength lifting, like powerlifting, big movements. He's like, yeah, it's not for me. I'm going to do, like, some yoga and stretching and Muay Thai. And I don't know if Connor's the same way. Dylan told me straight up, he's like, yeah, I want to focus on aesthetics. Like, you have a world-class lifter, 860 pounds on the deadlift. He's like, just, yeah, you know, I want to do aesthetics, bro.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because they see it's difficult, or they see it's boring, or they see you suck.
All of the above.
Yeah,
all of the above.
I think Bryce just kind of wrecked it for me, being too strong. It's like, no matter what I do, it's weak. Yeah. Like 500-pound deadlift, 600, 700. He's still going to beat me, so I kind of gave up with that goal and let him be the power lifter, and I just want to focus more on film.
Yeah, you just want to be like a legend.
Yeah.
Run around a Speedo.
What's that?
Run around in a Speedo.
Ooh. Mike, when are you going to step on stage, bro?
One day.
Why do you not sound confident at all when you say
Because like one day, because I don't like being naked.
But you're not naked. You're covered by your underwear.
You're pretty much naked.
You're pretty damn close to naked, I would say.
It's pretty naked. It's like a thong.
What's like the most you've been exposed in front of a large group of people? I know that sounds weird, but
I'm sure I've been naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some weird shit. I wore a dress in front of a bunch of people. I know that's not exposed, but that's...
Of your own volition, or was that for a play?
For a play.
Yeah. What was the role you were playing?
I don't know. Probably some goddess of some mythology.
Was this like recent?
Yeah, probably last week or something.
Community theater.
Yeah, that's probably high school, probably.
Okay. Yeah, you guys probably don't know this, but Mike is a creative chap, and you went to that art high school, right?
Yeah, Waldorf. Yeah. But the relationship with my editor, the homie Connors, I think is different because my creative, I just pass it off to him. Like whatever shot he wants, whatever he wants me to say. Maybe I pass it off too much sometimes. Like, hey, what do you want me to do? I'll fucking do it. I play monkey a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I obviously lift weights, but like, hey, what do you want to do today? All right, you want to joke on this? I'll try to joke on that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I still see a little bit of that.
Oh, we argue. It's just not about our
What
content.
do you think that? But what do you think it is, Mike? That like, you know, we don't really argue for our business, but like I'm the same way with us, and they're the same way.
I don't know.
Work relationships.
It might. Connor's pretty creative too, and a lot of filmographers are creative. I feel like editors, maybe in a more direct sense, aren't always as creative, right? Because they take a finished product and they just shove it together. They're more maybe analytical, right? And then YouTube, you're doing everything, so it's a little bit different. So it is probably two creatives crushing heads. That's probably what the issue is, and maybe an age gap. Is there an age gap with you guys or not?
A little bit, yeah. 5 years.
I'm 26, you're 30.
4 years.
Yeah. So maybe a little bit older brother, younger brother, because that's the same with all of us as well. There's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah. Were you scared right there, Bryce, where Dylan knew your age and his age?
And I didn't know his age.
Like,
I'm going to hear about that later.
He's like 4 years, 3 months, and 2 days.
He didn't even fucking know my birthday on the podcast, bro.
Oh, no. Have you guys ever received, and like you too, Mike, like any like weird messages? On Instagram or YouTube, or I explained that how I had a stalker for a bit. Right? Yeah. That's why I don't share any personal information, because accidentally I had a business, and the business at the bottom had just my address, my actual address, like 7 years ago. So yeah, I've dealt with that and some weird DMs.
I feel like Bryce is on the edge of
glory.
Well, he's a very good looking man, but he's starting to get a little heavy. He's starting to get into the bear category, but he's probably like 30 pounds light of the bear world.
Yeah, just shy maybe.
So you probably don't get too many bears.
I had one really interesting DM from a guy, and I think he just straight up asked if I would be his husband.
Okay.
He was just like, "Hey, will you be my husband?" And I was like, I'm like engaged and stuff, but thanks."
But like,
and that was pretty much it. He's like, "Oh, she's a lucky girl," and that was the end of it.
Wow.
So
That's kind of nice.
So he didn't like offer any. Like, I'm just saying, if I was to propose, I'm like, I'm looking at you right here, right?
Yeah.
And I see.
How
those
about you
big,
just
beautiful
DM
eyes.
me? And
it
then
must
I'll
not
read
have been
it.
a very serious request,
Yeah.
like by the nature of it.
Yeah.
But
he kind of meant it. It must have been kind of serious. If she,
yeah,
That's kind of one to like play it off. It's like when you're in the friend zone with a girl, and you're like, "Yeah, we should like totally hook up or whatever." Right?
Just kidding.
Whatever, just kidding, whatever.
Just kidding.
And she's like, "Oh my god, you're like the little brother I never had."
Omar hates this, but Kanye has been spitting absolute knowledge on Twitter. He said
no.
you can say anything with the right emoji, and he's so right. You send your friend like, "Hey, let's fuck," winky face, and then it's kind of a joke, kind of not a joke, but it's kind of a joke.
yeah, it's open to interpretation when you include images, right?
Yeah, or the little this face, the little hand on the chin face.
We're gonna call this the Kanye West season because
I
Mike
love
brings him
Kanye.
up at least every single.
He's doing some
Because he's
weird
going-
ass stuff
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
because he's going to work last week. That's why, or last 3 days.
Yeah, he's promoting. But anyways, I want to go back to my proposal. Don't try and
All right.
skirt the issue.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So you're DMing me.
So if I saw you, I'd say like I wouldn't just say, "Hey, what the guy say to you, Bryce?" Like,
I think he just said like, "Hey, will
No.
you be my husband?" or "Would you be my husband?"
no. See, I would explain what I would offer to you: unconditional love, forever support. I would be there whenever you need me. I would take care of you in your old age.
Sounds pretty good.
Now you guys are going to get a lot of fan mail on this.
Yeah,
one.
this sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I would make sure that we move into a place that's mutually beneficial, so a location we both enjoy.
Halfway here is like Montana.
Well, I would make sure that you wouldn't have to give up any of your passions, and I support everything that you do. That's what I bring to the table.
My passion are women. Is that okay?
They can watch.
Oh,
They can
Wow.
watch. Yeah, they can't participate.
Wow.
Listen, what did we just say today? We're recording this podcast on Saturday, and what's Saturday for?
for the boys.
For the boys.
For the boys. There you go.
Ferda.
Yeah. Poppy for Poppy.
What's the demographic on the YouTube and Instagram and things? Mostly dudes.
Yeah,
Probably
definitely.
like, yeah, 98%.
Definitely. Overwhelmingly.
99. I don't know. Check
Oh,
it
you,
right
can't,
now.
you don't check your shit,
Yeah,
bro?
check it. We'd like
Not
to
often enough.
because
apparently.
mine's like that.
On
but
Instagram, no, it's like 80. No,
my
what
gram,
is it? It's
my
like
gram's
83,
80.
17.
Yeah, my gram's about 85, but YouTube's like 90, 90.
Yeah. I checked
85% men,
Oh, wow.
15% women.
On
Yeah,
the
this
gram?
is-
Yeah, it's about the
on the
same as
gram.
mine.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
standard. It'd be interesting if you just had a really weird split. Like
Kenny
I mean-
Santucci, dude.
girls. Yeah, no,
Yeah. He's got like 70% women.
I didn't tell you this, and I don't think she'll be listening. She's cool, like someone I'm helping out. No. All I mean is, she's like a cool homie. She saw that I was hanging out with your buddy Kenny.
People love
Tucci,
Kenny.
who used to be part of the Real World. Like
Yeah, he was on
over-
MTV for
Okay.
like 10 years.
Yeah, and so she sends me just a message out of the blue, and we've always just been straight like, "Hey, like squats are looking good, whatever." She's like, "Oh my god, dude!" She's like, "Are you hanging out with
People
Kenny
love
Santucci?" I said, like, haha, yeah, why? Like, I thought she was gonna make a joke, like, man, that guy's like a fucking has-been, and I don't mean that as an insult.
No.
You
People
know what I
love
mean?
him. Yeah.
And she's like, dude, I had the biggest crush on him when I was in like grade 8.
His nickname is Mr. Beautiful.
And I
Wow,
said,
Yeah.
that's nice. That's a good nickname.
He's in a Crest commercial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he's beautiful.
And I
Yeah,
was
you
like-
got to be a good-looking dude to be in a toothpaste, toothbrush
that's,
commercial.
That's
Yeah,
the upper echelon.
Yeah,
Right?
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
It is beyond the hand model.
So I'm like, oh. So I just recorded a video of him saying like, hello, and she's like, man, you're my favorite. And I was
Yeah.
like, shit. Like, I did not realize that. Yeah. The reality star fame.
I feel like you have a DM to tell us about. That's why you brought this up. What do you got?
I don't
Yo,
have
you don't
anything.
have any?
I don't have anything.
So I started
secret motivation.
Thoughty Thursday probably 2 months ago, and that brought a different crowd. I feel like
Guys or girls, actually?
guys. The girls I feel like appreciated it and would laugh. Like I got a lot of cool comments on the post of ladies liking it and laughing and blah blah blah. Because I'm trying to make fun of kind of the Fitspo world and things that I
Right.
stand against. Really being sarcastic, but I got a lot of guys in the DMs really appreciating it.
Fired up about it.
Fired
you could
up.
say.
Like
Yeah.
how thick, like in support, Mike, like, yeah, man, we're thick too, or more.
No, yeah, like hard eyes and
Oh, yeah.
I wish I would remember more because there was a bunch for a while, and that's kind of why I put it to a stop. I was like, I don't want if I do gain traction on social media, I don't want it just to be from.
Don't want it to be
Thoughty.
from like you and your compression tight sticking your butt out.
It started to really catch on a little bit. People were DMing me their Thoughty Thursdays, and I was like, "This is cool."
It's gone too far. With great
Yeah.
power comes great
Same
responsibility.
thing
Even-
with the calf.
it-
Like the
and it's
calf's funny, but
Yeah.
you don't want to talk about calves
I don't
anymore.
want to be just that.
And
don't want to be the
it's
calf
crazy,
guy.
but even by accident, that stuff sometimes does better than like the stuff that you really want to push,
Exactly.
that you really want to be behind,
Exactly.
that you really want to like promote as your brand and yourself. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I'll post a picture of me flexing or something. And you're like, holy shit. Like,
Oh yeah, I saw you post
that-
about how many likes you got for some biceps.
I don't know, like 4,000 or something.
Of course,
and then I posted a deadlift PR 2 days before that got like
half
1,200.
Yeah, I don't know whether to bring that.
Which is whatever. Like I had a lot of people message me and say that pictures by nature will get more likes than videos and some things like that, you know. But it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to blame society or Instagram culture or if it's actually Instagram algorithms.
Putting that photo.
Putting in, some kind of aesthetic or sexualization to it all. Because obviously, and this is just non-biased. This is just me being in social media marketing forever. Like girls that use a lot of nudity and the world knows grow very fast. And
Sex sells, man. Sex sells.
It's our biological impulse. To deny that, I think, is ignorant where we're using a visual platform. It's like something that's eye-catching. Yeah. It's like, so a deadlift needs context. Like, well, how much do you lift? You need to understand it.
Right.
And if you've never deadlifted, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like people that don't lift can appreciate
800, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can have no idea about lifting or how heavy anything is, and you look at a jacked guy or a jacked girl, and you're like, "Ooh, that's nice. I like that."
I think people also just like seeing what you look like when you flex.
All right, cameraman. Now the cameraman.
We should film more of that.
They always see Bryce lift, but they never really see him flex. So when you post that, it's something different from his normal content.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is very true. If you look through my Instagram, and I think Selena said this to me the other day. She's like, "Do you do anything other than lift weights according to your Instagram?" Because it's just like lifting video. My dog lifting video, and it's just like on and on and on.
It's a hard world to start to deal with when you're talking about creating content or even creating a business or creating the content you'd like or growing whatever it might be. I literally made a separate account because I'm kind of into photography. I'm a fake hipster.
Michael Farr.
Yeah. And that's where I want to post things I'm into, like my car and my mountains and fucking hiking and all this shit. I said my mountains. They're not
mountains.
They're not really my mountains.
Owns those mountains. Mama's boys might be going well.
I fucking, it's going great.
Yeah. Have you seen the place we're staying at, bro? The sex dungeon? The Dude Ranch?
We have 13 bubbleizer water things behind me.
Yeah, not 12, 13.
For spritzers.
14. spritzers. See? Or Italian soda.
I was gonna never used one, but I know what they look like.
I can top everyone's like weird DM.
See, I knew it. See?
I didn't bring it up because of that, but so there's a dude, because I think it's funny, as you said, to poke fun out of the fitness industry. So like, you know, there's a lot of girls that will use their sexuality to try and promote things. So we make fun out of that. But also, I think it's ego and it's just the worst. It's just vanity and all that stuff where you'll see guys like post photos with like hot girls, like just hanging out with the babe or whatever.
It's so weird. And they're all
them as currency.
But they're not even in like bathing suits. Sometimes they're just in underwear. Like no one hangs out in their underwear.
They're all, it's
just a lazy Sunday. She decided to throw her like $300 lingerie on, watching Netflix.
Netflix and chill, babe. It's all contrived and I can't stand it. So joking about that, like we post photos of us together, like boys night out. You know, we're just like joking lightly about all that stuff, or like we'll post like a glute shot or whatever. Anyways, there's a guy that leaves consistent comments. I looked if he leaves comments on your Instagram too. His name is, no joke, I believe it's Eric Fatcox on Instagram. And
you just give him a shout out. This dude's gonna go viral.
Yeah, it's like 3 X's or something. Like it's a big old name. And his Instagram profile says, "I steal straight men away from their girls," and it's just like there's some. Let me just say, it gets very explicit.
Confidence kind of turns me on.
But I see. So you see comments, right? And so you'll see comments of like actual subscribers where we'll post like just Saturdays for the boys, like a photo of a group of us, and like guys will just give like heart emojis or whatever, and he'll give like the same, but then an eggplant. And so like you're scrolling down, and you're like, oh, these are all jokes. But I'm like, he's not joking. Like that's the guy that leaves a comment that's not joking.
He's in it.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah. Something for everyone, bro.
Something for anyone.
Anyone.
Ooh. Oh, so that's a different.
I'm all inclusive.
You're all inclusive.
Buddy, it's 2018.
Are you more just a take what you can get type of guy? Is that
Come on now. Come on now.
Come on now. Let me ask you this, Dylan, right here. Do you like working in the fitness industry right here? Because we mentioned your videography skills, just to make it a little bit PG again. But like, you see the barrier to entry is probably pretty low. Like, what do you see when you see the fitness industry? Just a bunch of muscle bound hunks, bunch of fat cocks.
At first, is no. At first, is kind of interesting, but I mean, after a while, you kind of get tired of it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, but
I appreciate it. What was the thing that you said, Bryce? Oh no. So this is a true story, Mike. This is I think honesty though, and we said that we don't want any, people that are just going to blow smoke up our skirt. right? Where I made that joke about lukewarm. I'd rather have someone say they hate me. Mm-hmm. Where this is true. Well, Bryce was squatting, like he's doing like a PR or whatever, like a tempo squat, and he squatted down, supposed to be like 6 seconds or whatever on the way down. And after he finishes it, Dylan's like, you sped up at the bottom, right? Like just like that. Like
that was 4 seconds.
Yeah. That truthfulness. What do you want to do then? Like, what do you see like yourself doing?
I like doing this, but I would like to move to bigger things on the side as well.
Oh wow! How do you feel about that?
I'm not saying I want to move on from Bryce.
But Bryce, how do you?
No, man, that's all good. Like I want to see him spread his wings. You know?
Yeah.
What do you mean bigger? You mean larger production? You mean
see other people
like a
with
like
watch it
more like Hollywood style, like Netflix movies, TVs.
I think I want to definitely get closer to that.
Yeah.
So, like, if I stay just in fitness, I can only grow so far, and I can only film a squat so many ways without continuing to learn.
Yeah.
So my goal is to maybe try other genres, basically.
Well, within YouTube, what's your experience or like maybe not knowledge of YouTube, but how are into were you watching a bunch of YouTube before you started a channel with Bryce and stuff like that?
Yeah, like Bryce knew nothing about YouTube when he first started. I was watching Omar when he first started. I was watching Matt Ogus, all the OGs, Scooby.
Shout out to Sacramento.
But I think that sort of partially made me want to start YouTube when I got into fitness.
Yeah.
But I didn't like filming myself. I wasn't anything special. I wasn't super strong.
Don't say that. Take that back. This is a positive fucking podcast, bro.
Special.
You are special.
I'm gonna get Eric Fat Talks to send you a message.
That'll make you feel special.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I like being behind the camera more than in front of one. So I figured it would be good to film Bryce.
Is that because you get a creative vision? Like there's that, and I see that actually with all of us, a common thread besides we share a passion for the type of lifting we like to do, but also the idea that we want to be more than just talking about lifting.
Yeah. It all has a message or something to it, and there's the greater message. Hopefully, is some type of progress. Like even that, like Bryce is supportive of you, not just doing YouTube for him the rest of your life, doing something, whatever it is that makes you happy. Are you thinking bigger and larger projects outside of fitness for YouTube, or do you think like the Hollywood world? Because the Hollywood world sounds like it sucks, bro. Like I want to be an actor my whole life till I got the 1% taste of TV. And
what happened there, Mike?
We just shot a pilot for Super Training back in the day, and just like little things, like a guy telling me what I should say. I'm like this is supposed to be reality TV pilot, bro. Like I wouldn't say that. Like that sucks.
Oh, it's all hammed up, bro.
Yeah, I don't want like that's. Not
I actually remember watching that.
Yeah, so I wasn't
like way back in the day when
I don't think I was in that one. So we did. Okay. They did one right before. That was right before I showed up, and then we showed up, and then we got like a little bit further, and then we had another meeting, and blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, bro. You know that's Hollywood talk. Blah, 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 blah. You know how it goes. But it just fucking sucks because they're like you just said, like you can only film a squat a certain amount of ways.
Yeah.
Well, when you go to Hollywood, you only film shots how they tell you to film a shot, so it doesn't matter.
Or your reaction.
Yeah.
That's like what's so funny is reality TV is like the fakest thing because it's all. They created situations like you said what like cut to commercial.
Well, I think that's why vlogs and YouTube will not only expand, but Twitch and live streaming is only going to expand because for some reason a large crowd of humans in the Western world want closer and closer to a reality they don't live in, but they want more real and more stimulus faster, right? So what's the fastest and soonest? Someone literally live streaming their life on Twitch on the street, and those are starting to blow up like live stream vloggers.
Yeah, you're really excited about that stuff.
I am. I don't know if I'll live stream vlog just because the dangers scare me too much.
No, man, you don't want to get jacked on the street.
Dude, it happens.
Because people, like, where there's a positive support, there's always negative support. Yeah. So someone's going to try and, what do they call it?
Stream snipe or SWAT you.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that.
What is that?
So stream sniping would be, sometimes it's innocent if you're playing video games. It's just they hop into your like lobby and then they come and kill you because they know where you are because you're live streaming it. Yeah. But in real life, that could mean like jumping behind you or something.
Yeah.
Or
right.
And then swatting would be if they find your either IP from your computer or find out what restaurant you're in. They'll literally call the cops and say like, hey,
there's a bomb threat.
A guy in a baby blue, he's got gauged earrings and a baby blue shirt. He's got a bomb on him.
Yeah.
And these
cops
to
deal with that stuff. And
kids it's just
like,
bad pranks.
Yeah, they're like, it's just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just put me behind bars, and now
or danger, or danger.
Yeah,
like
no way.
Yeah, it's bad.
Speaking about bad situations, Bryce shared in a previous podcast his love of working at Pizza Hut. We've all had bad jobs. Dylan, have you ever had a really shitty job that you hated?
Oh my god,
we just talked about this today. Actually, I think.
Oh my god,
what?
I worked in a lumber mill for 2 days.
2 days.
Lumber
2
mill.
days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Like, so lumber mill where the lumber's already been chopped down and now you're splicing it up?
Yeah. Basically, I would just put wood through a planer for 10 hours a day.
You're a fucking man.
yeah, I
You're
did.
a fucking
man.
yeah. That's fucking
Well,
manly.
Sing that song. What a man. What
You
a
would
man.
fucking
you,
Wolverine.
You
Fucking
and
man.
Wolverine. So Wolverine was working alongside you.
Obviously
No.
slicing with his claws.
You literally stand in one spot, and for probably like 5 hours, you put wood in one way, like with your left side, and then for the next 5 hours, you switch.
Yeah.
You use your right side, and that was your day.
And that's why it was so bad. Like I thought you had like abuse or like bad
No.
chop your finger off. Wood chips going in your eye. Like that's what I pictured. Like just like you're putting it down right in your face now.
I just can't handle like not doing things with my brain.
Wow.
So it was like I tried
Fair.
to listen to podcasts and music, didn't work. It was just like
That's because this podcast wasn't around.
Yeah, if this podcast was around, you probably have the
You'd be
best
the
time.
lumberjack of the world. You'd be a champion.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's your creative history before starting YouTube and stuff? You ever into anything?
nothing.
Just watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you are a very talented filmographer and editor. You think that's something natural within you?
I think I just I hate everything that I make, and that drives me to try to be better.
So self-hatred.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it. That's a powerful driving force.
Yeah. A lot
I
of like
feel like-
negative reinforcement from within.
Yeah.
It's
Hand
like
from without.
kind of like cliche for an artist to be like, oh, I don't like my art, but like I'm never satisfied with any of our videos, and I tell Bryce this every time, but I think that's what pushes me to do better.
That's dope.
I'm going to get you the shirt. I don't listen to Hatebreed, but they have a great line where satisfaction is the death of desire. I'm just going to get you that, and that's going to be your motto, bro.
Cool.
I think it's because you're a gentle giant. Like, for those that don't know about Dylan, he's 6'6". I've noticed I have a cousin who's like 6'7" or whatever, 6'8", like he's just a giant. And little dudes always want to pick a fight with him when he's at a bar because they're just he's a big tall guy. Do you ever have that growing up where like you're taller, so like people would want to just square up to you, the little dog that barks the loudest, or not?
Surprisingly not. No.
Really?
I think it's happened like once, but it wasn't really a big deal. Yeah.
That's because you're Canadian, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. If I lived in Toronto, it might have happened more.
And they've seen
aggressive
some things
here.
in Toronto so far where like I'm like, yeah, Toronto's safe, this and that, and I forget, what did you guys see?
Like the first street we drove down had like 6 cop cars all pulled over in front of a restaurant.
Oh yeah, Dundas.
Like something was going on there.
It was like a fire broke out, I think.
I don't know. I feel like that's pretty
We've had like
normal California.
3 people ride by on bikes screaming, and like
yeah.
there's been 2 instances of a guy like following a woman screaming, and then just kind of like veering off and going to scream at somebody else.
Yeah.
The guy who rode by on his bike and screamed, "I bought you a martini," and he's holding out like a Keystone Light, and
Trying to
it's
get a
just
date.
like, oh, okay.
To the girl, the poor lady, like she was just like,
Yeah.
man, like,
Luckily, I think she had her headphones in. It was just kind of like, oh, what?
What's the population where you guys are at right now?
We're
We're over 1 million, aren't we?
yeah,
Oh.
1.2, 1
that's
point
really big.
something.
No. Yep.
That's bigger
Million?
in Sacramento, not Toronto, where you're from. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Calgary.
yeah, that's huge.
yeah.
And there's no weirdness like that.
Not as much. No, and it's not as in your face. Not
I
as
think
abrasive.
Sacramento's like 500,000.
Is it?
Yeah, 580.
I wonder how big Calgary, the downtown, is in comparison. Because Sacramento has a downtown.
It has
It's
a
not
downtown,
big,
and
but-
I think they consider most of the suburbs when they're talking like that, which is pretty big. Like we stretch out pretty far. Yeah, it's a decent. I mean, it's probably 4th biggest city in California.
Columbus, Ohio. I was surprised. Is
That's
that just
stupid.
Is that one section, bro, of downtown? It's small, I thought.
Yeah, but then there's suburbs and there's
okay.
university.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
what was it? Top 10 biggest,
Number 13 in America,
biggest,
Columbus,
most
Ohio.
populated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And we saw it, and I was like, I was not impressed at all by that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of downtowns or whatever. That's why Toronto, to give it props again, is cool because it's got a
Moving
huge,
up here, buddy.
it's got a big downtown and cool suburbs around it. Where like
Yeah.
Sacramento's all suburbs, Columbus is mostly suburbs.
Yeah.
When people think city, they think New York or San Francisco. But beyond that, I guess Chicago. But beyond that, downtowns don't really look like that in America, at least. Like even Boston, there's some skyscrapers and stuff, but it doesn't look like New York.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. And then LA's just a shit show.
Yeah, LA's got some skyscrapers, but it's just so spread out and
Just soulless, man.
yeah, drugs and jerks.
Drugs and jerks. I remember, I don't know if I shared this on the podcast, but we went one time. And that's the first time we hung out, actually. We went to,
yeah.
and I said that's how we bonded. Like I was going down to super training. You picked me up. And you just said, what do you think about this guy? I'm like, I don't really like him. You're like, yeah, me neither. And then we just like kind of hung out. And I said, why don't you come with me to LA? Like, the trip. So
basically asked me out.
So I said, well,
I think he may have proposed to you earlier tonight. So.
Hey, I don't know what you guys doing later, but I was just wondering, if you,
dinner or something,
movie, you want to watch? I don't know, Eyes Wide Shut or whatever.
Yep, down.
Okay, cool. And so I booked a place near Barbell Brigade that it's just proximate. I didn't know the area. I would say it's the area that it's next to is not great.
It's like outskirts of downtown,
Yeah. What would you say, Mike? The area.
LA, yeah, it's definitely not like ghetto, but it's not nice. Like there's certain parts of LA that everyone's heard of. And have you guys been to LA?
Never.
Yeah,
when I was young.
What you've heard of is what's nice, right? Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and all these places. Even Hollywood's not even that nice. It's kind of the hills of Hollywood are nice, but you've heard of what's nice. Orange County, all the things on TV. LA itself, downtown, is all businesses, a lot of homeless. And Barbell Brigade is in an industrial area, but then we're a little bit more east of it. Which gets weird, industrial / residential.
Oh yeah, I remember like everybody was trying to speak Spanish to me, and then we went.
That's because you're running around with a goddamn bandana on.
Yeah,
I was just like just get around the place. I'm like, "What's up, man?" When we went inside, I remember a convenience store, and that's what those two. They were for sure gangbangers because they're just like tatted up. But they had their was it a daughter, bro?
Yeah, they're like screaming at their 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
I was just grabbing an energy drink before a workout. I was like, let's just leave, bro. I don't need to.
I remember what you wanted to buy. Like it was yesterday. Rice Krispies, just for pre-workout. I remember
pre-workout carbs.
Yeah, you're like, I want some Rice Krispies. But I remember they weren't even yelling like just at the dog. They were just being like super loud, like, hey, like fuck, man, like yo, like that. And I remember Mike just like looking at like the daughter and like looking at like this is not a safe environment for this girl. Like, yeah. No, it's just a situation where like the homeless, the amount of homeless that are in LA is like probably the hardest part to see.
You think you guys ever leave Calgary?
Like permanently?
Yeah.
Personally, no, I don't think so. I love it there. It feels like home. It's the first place. Like I bounced around a lot.
I guess we mean nothing then.
Okay. Moved around a lot growing up. Like I moved between a couple cities in Saskatchewan. I moved out, lived in Vancouver on and off for a while. And then when I finally settled in Calgary, it just kind of like clicked. I love it there. So I don't ever see myself leaving Calgary now.
I think I can see myself leaving.
Oh, the band. This is the band splitting apart moment.
Not yet.
Wow. Yeah.
We got lots more to do before we're done.
I think so, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I remember I was at a record store and I was just buying some vinyls. I collect vinyls with my brother. And we're just like going through a section, whatever, looking at some jazz. And we basically heard a band break up in real time.
Ooh, that's gotta be tough.
Oh, dude, it was so funny because we're just passing by. We're looking at my brother's like, yo, check this out. This is like a cool record. We're looking, and all I hear is, dude, no. I bought you a microphone last January. You haven't practiced. And the other guy's like, wait, bro. He's like, no, dude, the band, it's done. And the guy's like, bro. He's like, no, the band, it's over. And then there's 4 of them, so it's like a 4-piece.
Right.
And the other 2 were kind of just like, what the fuck, dude? Like their hands were
no.
But like the one guy was saying like, dude. And the other guy's like, I bought you a microphone. You said you're going to practice. We don't have the track. The band, it's done. And I was like, damn.
That's some real shit right there.
My brother and I were joking, like maybe we just witnessed history. That this could have been like the next Beatles.
Could've.
But that moment.
You never know.
I wrote it. What's your guys' music choice? Is it similar to each other? Because I find that if that is the case, the creative process can work well together.
Oh,
that's what I find. Me and Connor have very similar tastes in like fashion, clothes, music.
Yeah.
And so then like a lot of general things that we just like in life are a lot the same.
Bits and pieces of crossover, I think, but not the same by any means.
I want to say Bryce likes to listen to really heavy music when he's going for like top lifts.
Yeah, that might be a little bit different too compared to what you're cruising around.
Yeah,
with.
I don't like. I used to listen to just like super aggressive metal all the time.
Yeah,
and now it's a lot more rare, and I kind of use it as a tool almost.
At the gym.
I love pop music.
Yeah, he will listen to a lot of pop music. Maybe that's one of the things I don't like about him.
What's your
my obsession with Carly Rae?
With good, clean pop tunes.
It's just some fun.
I like a lot of everything but pop and country.
But pop's hard because I find nowadays hip hop is pop.
Yeah.
That's really hard to define
we're
pop
10
because it just essentially means popular music. Right?
And right now, if you go to the top of the 100 charts, it's Migos, it's Cardi B, it's Bruno Mars, and that stuff all I like, but I've liked it for 10 years. Yeah. 10 years ago, pop was, or 20 years ago, it was all alternative rock.
Sure.
It was more, I don't even know the fucking bands.
I was gonna say, Mike, I want to pivot into something hard. If you're ready to get,
I'm ready.
They're not ready.
Here we go.
They ain't ready.
I'm ready to pivot.
So,
dude. I'm a whole fucking beer down. We're ready to rock.
beer
Bro.
down, getting ready to throw down.
Come on, burn now.
Dylan, just quickly before we go on, are you single right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Dating.
Oh, whoa. Hey,
Okay, I'll put this on pause.
Someone's heart just got
His
broken.
life just ended. Whatever it was.
You might not want to go home to Calgary.
I've actually been in a relationship for 8 years.
And he said, I'm done.
Guys, this is a podcast episode. I want to thank our sponsor,
I am
Kaizen
done.
Training at this point.
I am done.
KaizenTraining.com.
That's the best.
Dylan, what was that?
What was the
That's
question?
awesome. That is
Dylan's
awesome.
like, no, bro. I thought you said you want to grab beer.
I thought you said, do you want to mingle? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, I'll talk to some people.
We need a public statement now. No, we need a public statement.
Hey, don't worry. You want us to move on? Shit, I'll move on. Man.
All right.
So I'll say this. Mike, what's your status?
My status is single currently.
Okay, yeah, because what I was going to say is we are, and Bryce, I want you to pitch us. We are two single lads, two lovely lads.
Right.
All right.
Two single lads.
Right.
And, you know, we are,
I'm a solid 7. If we're gonna put it out there, is that what we're saying?
no.
Oh, all right.
I'm saying I'm
Are we
questioning.
pitching ourselves to Bryce?
Well, no, will I ever get married? I don't know.
Oh,
The
marriage.
idea of finding
Marriage in
true
2000.
love. Yeah.
Well, even true love and marriage, I feel like a different conversation. Which one do you want to tackle first?
I
You're about to get married.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's why
Shortly.
I want you to convince us. I think you should definitely have true love. I don't mean be in a fantastical idea of love, but I think definitely there has to be love to get married. But is it even feasible in the modern age?
Let's tackle it step by step, and you can just say pass if you don't want, Bryce.
Right. No, I'm good
Dr.
to talk
Phillips,
about this.
bro.
Raised religious by any means, or currently religious by any means?
Not at all.
See, I think that's where my head disconnects, because I was talking to Omar in a previous podcast where I was raised pretty strict Catholic. My family, my mom still goes to church. I'm not that into it anymore. But up until I was about 18, 19, that's kind of the life I just knew, because my dad is from the Midwest, obviously very Catholic, especially going back 50 years. Mom's Latin, obviously very Catholic, just how it goes. And it taught me a lot of cool things, taught me morals, taught me history, taught me all this stuff. But marriage was part of that process.
Right.
And so now I don't consider myself necessarily Catholic anymore. So marriage just doesn't fit now that I'm just Mike. I'm not Mike the Catholic that must do these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Marriage doesn't fit what I do, I don't think. Like lifestyle, work, all those things, I don't think it fits.
Yeah.
What's your thought process with marriage? Obviously, you have a lovely bride.
Yeah,
And
no,
you're
I
into
fully
her.
support it.
Yeah.
I think so. It's interesting that you bring up the religious element, because we're essentially trying to eliminate all of that, as well as a lot of the convention behind marriage. Neither of us really want to go through a ceremony that doesn't mean anything to us. Like we are probably not going to be legally married at the end of it, but we're going to get our families together and essentially like perform some kind of ceremony that my brother might lead. We're going to exchange some vows either privately or at the ceremony. And it's just going to be based on stuff that we want to do with our families, because it's our own ceremony to legitimize, or not to legitimize, but to just bring our family together to celebrate the relationship. Because like we're serious. We don't have any plans to move on or anything like that. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is it's like a ceremony. It carries a lot of meaning. But it's definitely not the traditional sense of okay, we're going to hire some stranger to come and talk about our relationship and try to validate it by signing some papers. We just want to get our families together because they haven't met.
Oh, wow.
They're
Not all of them.
Yeah,
Not all
cousins and whatever.
So no, we're actually just doing immediate family.
Oh, that's cool.
So like,
That's cool.
immediate family, and Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah. And actually Dylan will be there. But
That's cool. And then that's a whole other conversation we're going to open up with you, basis or not, is people getting married maybe for the wrong or other reasons, right? Because of, at least in America for sure,
Right.
Green cards and things, let alone taxes and things,
Yeah.
income. Omar and I are both trying to buy a house, and that shit's really hard depending on where you live in this world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you have two incomes, it's a lot easier to buy a house.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, bro, Chuck and Larry is one of my favorite movies. We could just fake it.
Oh, there you go.
It's just so cool.
Well, so here's the thing. We're getting married, but we already share a mortgage, and our phone plans are combined. So
And
we're practically
And the
there already.
benefits up here are free.
It's serious.
Okay.
It's real
That's-
serious.
And benefits up here are
Mortgage
free.
serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
health. Yeah, health and stuff's free up here. So down there, that's a big reason why people do it too. Because if you have a dope job with benefits, I don't. We get married, all of a sudden I have dope benefits.
All right.
Bryce, are you scared at all of the concept that most marriages do end these days in divorce? Is that?
I don't know if I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like
what's the
I
percentage?
accept that that's a thing.
It's really high.
Yeah.
I think for us, and like this might be getting way too real for the podcast.
No, we love it.
That's what I want. Yeah.
I think for us, it's like we work well together. You know, like we had that like big spark, big love, like staring into each other's eyes all the time and constantly texting and like infatuation, right? Yeah. And then it became, or you know, like things change over time. And I think a big part of our relationship now is that we work really well together. We push each other well. We help develop one another and support one another. And like that's the important stuff to me, right? So it's like, is there true love? I don't know, define love. Yeah. But we work well. We're great partners, and you know we still have a lot of that spark. So,
well, all right, let's go next level. Are kids on the table?
No.
Okay. So, well, that's what I was gonna, so because for some people, like obviously, if they want to have kids, then marriage is a prerequisite for that.
Right.
So I was wondering about that.
And another like kind of weird thing that I think people kind of raise an eyebrow at when I say is that I'm kind of impartial to it.
Impartial to
kids,
and
I like. So,
how about your fiance?
She's
similar.
She's against it.
Oh,
she doesn't want them.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, okay, if she changes her mind down the road, I'm cool with that. If she doesn't, I'm kind of okay with that. Like I could see myself in either situation and see myself fulfilled and happy with that. So
sure. And the concept then also of a prenuptial to you would totally defeat the purpose of coming together because you're hiding assets, or no? Like, how do you feel?
No, I think like so. Selena comes from a different family than I do, and there's dimensions and levels to that. Yeah. So I think that an agreement like that, I mean, whether formal or not, is maybe a good idea.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, all that's hard too, because then you can. I think a lot of that is a lot of the nurture world rather than the nature world. You know,
would you get one, Mike, a prenup?
I don't know. I don't think marriage is for me either. And my parents had a great marriage. They're got along great. I never, the normal fights, but that's once a month or something, an argument or something. Nothing weird.
That's normal.
Yeah, just totally normal stuff. They're both very good to me. They're both very good to each other. And I still don't necessarily want to get married.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like you said, different situations you think might tend to make you make a different decision. Based on your own. What about Dylan? 8 years single.
8 years single. In the game.
Are you getting married or what, dude?
I think it's in the plans.
Yeah.
Wow.
For me, like I've been in school for 4 years, and then I got out of school and I started working with Bryce, and I'm just kind of trying to build up my wealth before I, plan to get married. Because I don't know, I want to do it right. You get married. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say this, but you get married once. You can get divorced and married again. But I don't plan that, and I'm sure no one plans that. But I just want to do it right.
Yeah. When you're still fairly young.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say about the whole prenup thing is that, I just question if that would ruin the, validity once again. For some, but I see the argument. And like, also, here's another thing. If one person has, let's say, a lot of money, if you agree, it's like, here's a prenup. It's like you get $10 million. Like if you divorce, like the concept of just purely half,
that's where I feel like
both ways. If a woman has a lot of money, or
the other thing to that, to me, is that we don't really like combine financial assets at all, and we find that works really well. Like we take turns buying the groceries, we pay our half of the mortgage, we don't have a joint bank account or anything. So I think like we have everything the way it is now. And if we sign something to make sure that it stays that way in the event of something terrible happening, I don't think that like makes things any less valid.
Yeah, I was going to say,
just having something there, a safety net. I mean, like you said earlier, like there's a pretty hefty statistic against marriages working out, right? So I think that having some kind of contingency plan doesn't make your intentions any less valid. It's just kind of like accepting that, okay, things happen, people change, and hopefully that's not us, and I'm convinced that it's not. But
I think a lot of that
just play it smart
might have to do with your parents or grandparents or even friends' relationships that you see happening. How you deal with it personally, financially, whether it's prenup or even just day to day stuff. Like, hey, I got the mortgage, you got all the groceries, or whatever system you're already in. I think it depends on maybe how your parents did it, and you just follow into that, because there is no lessons on that. There's no rules on that. There's no real textbook for that. There's no right way.
I think also just times have changed where, in the past, people will be getting married. Like usually there's an age gap between the male and the female.
Right.
And, the woman would be likely like 16, 17, 18. The guy would be in the early or mid 20s, somewhere like that. And that has kind of shifted up. But life expectancy has also gone up dramatically.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea of marriage forever, it's like, well, you'd be married for 20 years because you lived to like 45.
Yeah, everything's shifted up a bit. Where you can even make a living to live nowadays is shifted up, I feel like, right? Like we're back in the day, even my dad, was, I guess, maybe born in the 50s. He graduated college late 70s, got a dope job out of college and was making full-time living, could buy a house, all that stuff. That never happens anymore.
That's not the reality anymore.
Where maybe you're stable if you're crushing it when you're 30s.
Yeah,
absolutely,
and school debt now these days.
Yeah, then maybe you're not crushing.
America,
then you're not crushing it until you're in your 40s.
Yeah, you spend the first 10 years.
Honestly,
working.
Because if you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer or something, that literally will take you 10 years
for how much longer?
Yeah. 10 more years. So you're in mid 30s, and then by mid 40s, maybe you pay off debt.
Yeah. That's our original one of the original podcast titles we're riffing on. What was it? It was a young,
young broken.
Dangerous. Dangerous. We're just joking about that. Yeah,
that's who we are.
We sound like basically like we're 2 steps away from starting to do porn. We're like, young, broken, dangerous.
That's suggestive. It's kind of like clickbait, but in a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about marriage for you, buddy?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I would have to honestly consider it. It would take me some time. I'm on the fence.
What about when you were younger? Because some people I feel like have it in their head, like, I'm going to have the greatest wife, and she's going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Definitely chicks that, like weddings for ladies is like a dream come true.
For some people,
for sure. For not all.
I don't know if I ever had a thought or many thoughts one way or the other.
Same.
It was just kind of like, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I kind of met Selena and was like, I'm locking this down.
Yeah.
So. I mean, that was
lock that shit down.
That was my decision process.
No, I've never. I wasn't like I'm going to get married. I'm going to do this. In fact, I kind of I use that quote from one of my all-time favorite movies, where it's just Repo Man. It's called, where the guy
romantic film.
No, it's amazing. He says to Otto, who's Emilio Estevez, this guy, this Repo Man. He's like, look at those people, ordinary people. They make me fucking sick. And I just I'm like yeah, like I kind of like just as a kid. So like. I would have to question it, and it would obviously have to be right. Yeah. But I also see the possibility, absolutely, that I could be single for my entire life, or not get married at any point in my life.
No baby Omars.
That's not in the cards right now, buddy.
Dude,
I'm so goal oriented. I'm sure you can. Also, my parents, everyone's different. My parents had me when I think both of them were around 37 or 8.
Wow.
Right? So that's a ways away. So I just grew up kind of with that too.
Right.
That's a different perspective. So it's not even in my mindset because we're young and, as you said,
dangerous and hungry.
And young,
desperate.
broke, dangerous, and Eric Backhawks is like, did you say dangerous? And so we want to make our mark. And so right now I'm not good at multitasking, just focusing on one thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, which is fair, I think.
It is. I'm the last male far on the planet. That's the only thing.
That's Mike. That's pressure, buddy.
That's a lot of pressure. My dad had 6 sisters.
Damn, man.
And so they had kids, but they didn't keep the name.
Yeah.
And that's it. I only have a sister. That's the only thing. Mike, I don't want kids either.
Mike, you need to get it done, buddy.
See, I don't want kids.
See, and I feel like that's maybe is that a selfish reason? To want to have kids, to be like, I want my legacy to live on.
I think that's more common than people realize.
And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but is there a selfish sort of idea behind that?
Well, I think if that's the only reason, it is.
But then what if? But then it might be selfish not to.
I think it is. I think my decision and Selena's decision not to, in a lot of ways, is selfish too, right? Yeah, I think it's like we're really happy being aunts and uncles. Like we have a great nephew and niece, and we get to take care of them, and they're super cute and amazing. But we're very happy to pass them back off to their parents when they get home, kind of thing.
Kids are a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Kids are a lot.
Part of me, if we want to talk utility or the morals of it, if we've had a life of experience and then we can impart it onto someone else to make the world better. If you think it can have a positive impact, then
I think that's a very legitimate reason.
It can kind of be your duty, just to make the world a better place. Because we're fortunate, where we are, where we grew up, all those things, the resources.
Yeah, that's another thing too, right? If I have a kid, my kid's going to live a better life than 50% of the planet.
That's what I'm
and I think
that kid could do a good job.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that's the number one thing that any parent would think is that they want their kid to have a better life than they did. And that's the going rate. I think that's the biological drive in humans for parenthood. Is that's what you want to try to impart is better than what you had.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard decision.
Star child, bro. Well, they're going to be, if any of us decides to have kids, it's probably going to be of the generation they'll live forever.
Yeah, somebody said Elon, maybe my boy. Elon said, I got a question for you guys to go into next after that, but I think Elon said the person that's going to live to age 200 is alive right now.
Someone said that. I think it's going to take a little bit of time.
I don't know. 200 is not that far. We have someone at like 120 right now.
But
yeah, maybe. I got a question though.
Yeah, I'll go.
So I was asked a question on YouTube, and I think it was about the podcast actually. What are 3 people you'd like to interview, or the top 3? And at the time, Omar's going to make fun of me again, but one was Elon, just because I find him interesting as shit.
Right.
The other one was Zuckerberg, because he was in court at the time, and I would love to talk to a robot on this podcast. 3 was Kanye.
A reptilian overlord.
It is Kanye, but just because he's so volatile, especially in interviews, he becomes such a dickhead. I think it would just be funny for me and Omar to talk to him. Just because
I'm the best ever. He always sounds like he has an anxiety attack.
I don't know. Yeah, last interview he did, he just freaked out on people. Right. So who are the 3 people you'd like to talk to or interview right now?
And just before we go on,
let's say living, because I went living.
And I just want to say quickly before we go on, I want to say that this is a podcast about friendship. And so, we're going to celebrate that in a little bit. That's all. That's all I want to say. That's it.
All right.
Oh, damn. That's cryptic.
Yeah, that I don't even know either.
It's like a job someone may have had or like something, whatever. I don't know. Go on.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dylan, do you want to go first, man? Because I'm having a hard time.
Should we maybe do like one at a time?
Yeah, you can riff on it. Mine was on the spot too. We were filming a live YouTube video and Connor just read me the question, so I didn't really get to think.
I'd probably want to interview someone like Christopher Nolan or Edgar Wright, like some Hollywood director.
Yeah.
Kind of learn what it's like to be up there.
Yeah.
So, Baby Driver, and then you said actually
I like Baby Driver.
No, Nolan's a really good choice.
Yeah, Baby Driver.
I'd say Interstellar's probably in the top 10 best movies released of the last 10 years.
Yep.
To me, we're just the whole purpose. It's rare for me. I usually have not a negative mindset, but
mindset.
Well, like complicated movies that are like dark and show the depths of humanity and a lot of things. Like if you read like Dostoevsky, like Crime and Punishment and Brothers Karamazov, all shit. It's dark, but it's beautiful. But Interstellar has that fine, incredible balance of being hopeful, powerful, motivating without being overtly so. It's about kind of the beauty and the power of humanity and what we really are, like the heart of the explorer and just our capabilities when we really put our mind to it.
I think I liked Inception better.
Inception? I
liked Inception also.
I thought it was good, yeah.
I like the levels, like just all the levels.
Yeah. All the
levels.
I should give you guys a spoiler, by the way, right now. I'm going to reveal it because I couldn't quite see. When I interrupted briefly, why I interrupted is we were going to get pizza delivered.
Ooh.
Here, Pizza Hut, but actually they don't deliver anymore.
Oh.
Right now. Yeah.
Our fun was spoiled.
Yeah, so that's why when I said a quick pause, because I saw Connor go over there, I thought he was going to go grab us a pizza. From Pizza Hut. As a just a little, like a celebration of friendship.
But they don't deliver, so we got failed.
Well, we're going to get food now.
Who you got, Bryce? Who you got? At least a couple ideas.
It's tough. Like, I feel like I would almost just rather have more time to have conversations with people I already know.
Whoa,
like, I would like to sit down with...
Flip that shit on its head.
I'd like to sit down with my brother, who I just finished hanging out with, Mason. He just finished writing his master's thesis, and he had a really cool, like you were talking about Elon Musk. His thesis was all about how technology innovates the way that we see the world, and et cetera. It was I believe it was in political philosophy, essentially. But I would love to be able to sit down with him and record a conversation and just like tease out more of that concept. Because we had moments of that where we like stopped, we were riding bikes around, drinking beers kind of thing. We had moments of that where we were able to like kind of just block everything else out and have those conversations. But I think if we could sit down and have like some uninterrupted time, it might be people that I talk to on a regular basis that I would just like to have that much more of a conversation with.
Yeah, you almost need an excuse to have it sometimes, sadly.
Yeah.
What you got? You got somebody.
For
interviews. Yeah.
They have to be alive now.
I think they have to be alive. Yeah, because people said like right now. Because otherwise, I would love to chat with like Muhammad Ali or something.
Oh my god! Yeah,
but like, they said right now, and that's why I even said Zuckerberg. I don't really want to talk to Zuckerberg, but he was in court, and I was like, that'd be really interesting right now.
You just start the conversation. You're like, you're fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, why do you? I look in your eyes and you look dead.
Yeah.
Are you a robot?
Your pupils should not be shaped like this.
Man, I'd have to think. Probably one would be Noam Chomsky. I don't want to talk with that dude. He's a linguist, like also political thinker. He's outside the box. I think he's really cool. For 2 and 3, I mean, see, that's why when we said, like, honestly, like people that just died, it's like probably 2 and 3, not necessarily in that order, but like Prince, I would have liked to talk to, and then Stephen Hawkins. You know what I mean? So like, those are crazy conversations. Those are both recent deaths. So like I'm like, or Muhammad Ali said, I'm like, damn, I would have to think about number 2 and 3.
Yeah, there's some new stuff popping up about Prince's death. Yeah.
Yeah, just about the drugs that he did not know basically what he was on. And the fun fact, what no one knows, he was a short guy, but like what people don't realize, he weighed, I think, like 85 pounds.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So if you give an adult dose to someone that weighs 85 pounds, it's like they expect you to be what? 200, 180. It's like he's 50% of that.
Yeah, I think that
even like 160.
Yeah, I think it's 160 the weight. What's the drug that was going nuts up here for a sec?
Fentanyl.
I think it was that.
That's been really bad in Calgary and in surrounding area.
Yeah, I think they found some of that.
I think Selena's had a classmate from her graduating class. At least one every year since graduation has passed from, and not necessarily just from that, but a number of them have been related. Like there was a guy that used to go to our gym. He was a strongman competitor. Got caught up in some addiction issues and ended up like going to jail for printing counterfeit money.
Wow.
There's like it's running rampant. Like the opiate crisis is very real.
No, it's affecting thousands.
Yeah,
that's wild. Maybe it's more wild because you guys didn't have it like probably 5-10 years ago.
No,
I think
I feel like epidemic more in America.
Well, it's just to say we have everything. Yeah, we have everything. Like everyone's fucked up everywhere. Like I just told you, they found this guy named the East Bay Killer, and I know this isn't drugs, but this dude like raped 10 people and killed 9 people in the 80s, and they just found him.
Jesus.
Now like America's just fucked.
What's the crazy fact about him?
Oh yeah, his kids went to my school.
No way.
Wow. And your school only had how many people?
The entire school, I don't know, but each class was 20 people.
Yeah,
not each classroom. Each class was
that's
20
maybe 200 people, bro. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. And they just, America's just fucked. So I'm just used to that stuff. Like when you say thousands of people are addicted to, like, I drive 45 minutes to Stockton. I don't know if you guys have heard of Stockton, but it's literally kind of like the new age Compton. Like the cops are so corrupt. Cops are literally just driving by crime because they don't want to fuck with it because they're going to die.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah. Just because there's drugs and gangs and just bullshit.
Yeah,
I just hide in my house.
Ending on a downer, bro.
My bad, dude.
Well, to pick it back up,
let's talk about Prince.
I came up with a number 2.
Oh, good one.
Do you guys know who Vince Staples is?
I know the name. Yeah, the musician.
Yeah. He just puts out really, really, really cool music.
Is he Canadian?
No, I don't believe
beef
so.
With Drake.
Does he?
Maybe that's why I think he's Canadian.
See, maybe I'd like to talk to him to learn more about him.
There you go.
But he makes cool music, and I think he's got a cool perspective.
I think
on
Vince
stuff.
Staples wrote music. Don't quote me, internet. Always wrong with names, but I think Vince Staples wrote music for Drake, or Drake copied a bunch of his shit. It went wild, obviously. Sold a bunch of money, and then Vince Staples said, "Fuck that, I'm not going to be a writer anymore," and then made his own music. I think that's what went down.
There you go.
I
don't know.
idea.
I wouldn't imagine you for a Vince Staples fan, though.
Yeah, I really like his
that.
stuff.
I'm into it.
Yeah,
I'm into it. Dylan, you got to have one more, bro.
I don't know. Like, I want to say I'm pretty introverted, so interviewing someone isn't something that I would always think about.
Or just chat, hang out with, have a cup of coffee, have a beer.
Especially alive. Like,
sit silently next to.
Yeah, hold hands. Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Like,
I'm insanely introverted, but I think the definition of introvert is teach their own.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Man, alive is hard because dead. There's a lot of like family that I'd want to see. That like. I mean,
we're trying to turn this up, bro.
Man, this has been one of the most like
No,
heavy podcasts
I
think I've ever been a part
family
of.
die when you're young, it's like now that I'm older. When I was young, I never really talked to them. Like they're your grandparents or aunts and uncles, and like now that I'm older, I feel like I want to actually get to know them. Whereas when you're a kid, you just kind of you don't know them at the same level that you would want to know them at.
Yeah, right. The conversations are different.
Yeah. Your capacity for having that conversation and getting to know them, right? Like I think when you're younger, your frame of reference is maybe so small that you have a hard time actually getting to know somebody. Yep. Your ability to kind of put yourself in somebody else's shoes is limited at that age because you're just not as experienced with the workings of the world and yourself. That's a really good one.
Or how often you see them? How often you see them? Right. Like my aunts and uncles, I saw once a year, maybe. Yeah. So then everything's good, right? They're buying you ice cream and you're watching football.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, Mike.
What? You can turn it around. Who's your number 2?
I'm trying to.
Stephen Hawking is pretty good.
He just passed away.
I know.
You want me to have a number 2? Okay.
Oh no, I guess you went Prince. Yeah, you went.
Actually, you know what? Like, I'll just do. This isn't like an all time, but like just off the top of my head, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I would love this shit.
Dave Chappelle is so real.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
And I think he's actually the best current comedian out there, probably the last 25 years. In my opinion,
I think a lot of even comedians would say he's the best of all time.
Yeah,
I think him or Rich Pryor. That's
I
the
could watch his
argument
shit. Yeah, I could watch his shit all the time.
I'd agree.
Yeah,
he's probably my favorite comedian.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. No, he's awesome.
Besides myself.
Oh, I cracked myself up, bro. I don't have a number 3, man. I have to think.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's a hard question because I would love to chat with a bunch of fucking people. Like I would love to talk to Michael Jordan. I would love to talk to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to like LeBron James. I know nothing about basketball, like not even the slightest little bit about basketball. Dope. But I do know he's an incredible athlete, and it would be cool to get insight into his mind as an athlete myself to try to like tease out what strategies and sort of like psychological tricks and those kinds of things that work for him in terms of visualization or whatever it might be. So I
think psychologically, Michael Jordan might be one of the most interesting athletes. And I'm basketball biased, but even from your perspective, because he's someone that was really, really good at the sport.
Yeah.
You could argue he's not the best, but the entire planet for the last 30 years says he's the best and the best that ever lived and will ever live. That doesn't happen in another sport.
No.
Right. Like you go football, you're like, oh, well, there's, Joe Montana. There's also Tom Brady. There's also Joe, there's all these different
things. Basketball, name one person, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, everybody.
Well, like as somebody who knows nothing about basketball, like I know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah, everyone does. Yeah. Everyone knows he was the greatest of all time. Again, football,
he was also phenomenal in Space Jam.
Wouldn't hockey be Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah, I don't know enough about hockey, so I can't make an argument. But is it Crosby?
Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
I just know there's
he's been touted as like the new grad. I think Sidney Crosby is to LeBron James as Michael or as Wayne Gretzky is to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I just know there's such a brand and legend. The legend of Jordan might be beyond Jordan, and I'm the biggest Jordan fan in the world. But you know what
do you think he's the best of all time?
Yeah, I do. But
no,
I do. Just because some of his stats are absolutely stupid.
And when it came time for him to perform in the championship, games.
And the sport was just different back then. There's a rule called like a hand check, where nowadays if you put 2 hands on the offensive player, it's like an automatic foul. Back then they're fucking throwing elbows at you, and Jordan's still scoring. Yeah. He's buried 200. He's 200 pounds.
And like what
6'6". Yeah, he's skinny as shit.
Yeah. Which,
sorry, Dylan. He's probably 6'6", 200 pounds.
Speaking of which, maybe wrapping up on this, Dylan for video, we're gonna have him just slam dunk a basketball.
So I'll throw you a little alley oop. No basketball in your past?
We're gonna go to Canadian Tire for him. So like just a shorter.
I would love to just transfer spirits. Dude.
Yeah.
We're going pro together.
Freaky Friday.
We're going pro together.
We're going pro together. Let's take some Get Out style shit where it's like the brain.
Let me be in you, Dylan.
Yeah, there you go.
I tried it in like grade 7, 8, but it just never stuck.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn it. If you were born in America.
Yeah.
You've been forced.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a choice.
Well, I want to thank our special guest today. We've had, and actually, Bryce, you win the distinct honor of being our guest that has appeared the most amount of times on our podcast.
Thrice now, I believe.
3. Yeah, 3 times. We're going to have to do something special for the 4th time.
Huh? Sign me up.
Eric. One word. Eric.
You lost me.
Mr. Fatcocks.
And
so,
Eric
Bryce,
Fatcocks.
I want to thank Bryce for being on, and also Dylan for being on, the videographer extraordinaire, the man with the plan, the man who is the Space Jam, who will be playing.
And we'll make a movie eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll come back and cast all 3 of us.
He might be directing, filming, director of photography for Space Jam 3 or 4, where we're at.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Space Jam in space,
I loved it.
It's the next level.
It's a great movie.
Guys, make sure on iTunes.
Where can you find our friends here?
Go.
Let them plug away. Plug away.
So we're Calgary Barbell, literally everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. Just Calgary Barbell.
Yeah.
Dylan, you have to have your own, bro. Plug away. You can't be a director in Hollywood without your own, bro.
I have my personal Instagram,
Hit
but
it.
honestly...
Oh, you don't want these losers following you. All right.
Wow.
It's literally just dog pictures at this point.
Okay.
All right, so if you love dogs, follow Dylan.
Who doesn't love dogs?
It's just my first name and last name. So that's going to be hard to remember.
Just read it off the show notes.
Fair.
And then lastly, we want to say to everyone, thank you so much for listening. You can listen every Tuesday and Friday. You could help us out, show your support, sign up for our Patreon. We have exclusive episodes behind the scenes on there, at least 2 a month. And Mike, I'm just going to say the truth.
If you're broke as fuck, just give us a rating and review. That's all we need.
Rating review on iTunes.
That's it.
We appreciate everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have fun reading. The Hooked on Phonics, where they had to say goodbye.